Hey everyone, welcome. This is going to be a short-ish video, short, um, and there's a few things I'm going to share with you. Those of you that have just watched Odin's Gateway, the Call of the Weird, this is kind of follow-up. I did say within that video, it's a story of two halves. When I first cut that video, was around about 2 years ago. So I'm kind of cutting this on December the 23rd, 2018. There's a few things I'm going to weave into this. So what I'd really say to you is watch Odin's Gateway, Call of the Weird, part one. Okay, the first part of that story, and then this will gently fuse together. Okay. So it's December the 23rd. It's around about kind of 1:15 in the afternoon. Celebrated solstice on the 21st. Absolutely amazing. I believe that we are moving absolutely into a new cycle of time. I will put, excuse me, another link within this video of my thoughts, deeper thoughts around this time. But celebrated solstice on the 21st. Today being the 23rd, I popped out to go and get some bread, milk, and some toiletries, and I was just absolutely blinking, freaking blown away by what's going on out there. Okay, the queue to the supermarkets was around about 2 miles long. It was like the freaking apocalypse, and I could not believe what I was seeing. There was these people pushing two trolleys or pulling along two trolleys and just clearing shelves of food, and other people kind of pushing and shoving, and people getting annoyed with each other. And it was just this sense of, honestly, I felt kind of literally sick. It was this almost devouring. It was like the apocalypse. And the attitude that come with it. And I was shocked, It was this sense of, I need to get first. It was this sense of, I've got to get that, It was this sense, and there's this poor old lady trying to get some milk. So I asked her, what do you like? She said, all I need, love, is a pint of milk. And all these people just crowding around the creams and the milk. And I just kind of pushed in there and got her some milk. One person looked at me and said, I'm trying to help the old lady behind me, have some respect. It kind of really, it angered me, to be honest with you. And then as I've come back, I've sat here and I thought, I'm going to do a little bit of research, because all of those trolleys, I looked at the amount of food that people were throwing into their trolleys and thought, how much of that is going to end up in landfill, okay? Because it's gluttony, and I'm going to say it is greed at that level. I'm not preaching, but I'm just wanting to stir up some thoughts, and I wanted to kind of put some truth into the situation. How do I do it? I kind of make so much of what we share around our Yule table from scratch. So Yule pudding is made completely from scratch. I was going to say Christmas pudding. No, it's a Yule pudding, completely from scratch. Yule cake, completely from scratch. I also make some berry rum. Most of the components there, horseradish sauce. Most of the components are kind of made. The mince pies, I get gifted incredible hamper once a year. Mince pies homemade. I had a wonderful lady that brought this hamper, and all the kind of the Yule treats in there were made from by hand, and it's kind of this sense of more than enough. So I've kind of done some research, and here it is: 2 million turkeys are binned over the Christmas period. Okay, and I'm going to call it Christmas. over the Christmas period, 2 million turkeys are binned. Okay, I was just shocked, so that's 2 million turkeys' lives that have just absolutely been taken to end up in the bin. It's a disposable commodity to lots of people, but we're talking about life here. I eat meat, okay, but I try to source my meat in ways that there's a little bit more awareness to the situation, and I absolutely, will, during the winter time, if I eat chicken, I will then boil those bones, make a broth, make a stew, make a soup, It's just kind of trying to meet it in a way that there's humility. 2 million turkeys, okay, thrown in the bin. It goes on to say that the average family will spend about £800 on food over the festive season, and nationally we're looking at 19 billion on food, and a high percentage, I've got the facts here in front of me, high percentage of that kind of goes into food waste, and they've got the figures here. What they believe is about 5 million Christmas puddings going to landfill. 5 million Christmas puddings going to landfill. 2 million turkeys and 74 million mince pies get thrown away. Not to mention the huge amounts of vegetables, fruit, and other treats that all get thrown away. I know that those that are watching, you're not those people, but maybe it is. It's just trying to get people to kind of stop and pause and kind of meet some of this more consciously. Anyway, I want to share that with you because it was right in the here and now. Okay, the Call of the Weird, Odin's Gateway. I said that this was a two-part story, and I don't mind whatever time of the year that you watch this, because that previous part of this video, it counts whatever time of year. It's just kind of meeting it a little bit more kind of consciously, I feel. So Odin's Gateway, two-part story. So go and watch it if you hadn't. It finished at the part that I realised that I gave my runes away, and I was absolutely being pulled and called to pick up the runes. So many coincidences that were playing out at that time. And then I realised that I gave my runes away, and I thought to myself, but I gave them with love, I gave them with heart, so it was the right thing to do. And I discovered that I've still got it today, my original rune book, okay, so from a gentleman called Ralph Blum, really beautiful book, going into the philosophy and the approach and the runes and runic magic. Beautiful book. And I kind of put out the video, and then later in the afternoon I got a message from a dear friend of mine. She said to me, and this is around about just over maybe 2 and a bit years ago. She said to me, you know what, Shane? She said, I was randomly having a coffee in between work, and I saw your video and thought, I'm going to watch that. And she said, I watched that and thought, actually, I could really help you here. And what it was, that she had two sets of runes, two rune books, similar set, okay, by the same guy, okay. And here are her runes. And she said to me, when you come over, I want you gently to choose a set. And I was absolutely blown away, because when I went over to choose the set, it was by the same author. They are the same runes. Not literally, but they are the same runes. The runes had returned to me randomly by coincidence. And my good friend, she said to me, all I want you to do is kind of just hold a set, and feel for what feels right, and that's exactly what I done. Okay, so when I say to you, Odin works in the most mysterious ways. If he comes into your life, he doesn't do that lightly. And there's a strength to that. The coincidences and the magic that seems to happen is profound. Okay, it is absolutely profound, and it happens over a long period of time. So for me, if you watched Odin's Gateway first part, you'll know that that story stretches back 26 years. And here we are in 2018, just before Yule. A really wonderful, very, very special friend of mine, she sent me a package, okay, sent me a Yule package. And I'm just gonna get it, and I'm gonna show you what we've got, okay, so bear with me. Okay, this is like, it's like the tools have been bestowed upon me and been gifted to me by the innate, and I kind of feel in my heart by that archetypal energy of Odin himself, and I don't say that lightly. This beautiful, absolutely freaking off the scale beautiful, is a drinking horn. It's Odin drinking horn from a company called Odins Horn. Okay, beautiful Viking knotwork on the top there. With, I'm going to have to take the cover off to show you. There we go. And as you saw, there's leather work there that holds the horn. This beautiful rune. This is the rune symbol of protection. Okay, so believe me, Odin works in the most incredible ways. This dear friend of mine, very special, gifted this to me just before Yule, and I'm absolutely blown away. On winter solstice, as many of you know, I carried it into ceremony on my father's land, and we held the ceremony and ritual, and Odin's horn was held in honour to the land, to the spirits that dwell there, and to friendship, and to the agreements honoured for the coming year. Just absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, if Odin's making himself known to you, it's going to be quite a journey. And as I kind of said in some of the first video, is that I've asked for so many years, or I've been intrigued. I haven't asked. There's the point. I've only asked recently. Been intrigued for so many years. Why me? And when I kind of look back over my experience, when I went up into those mountains, I'd never been there before. I'd never been to Scotland. I felt this pull, this draw to go up into those lands, and I was made redundant on the Friday, and on the Monday I was in the mountains. And incredible experience, and at first you're really, really excited. You're hugely excited, and that excitement carries you deeper into the mountains. And I remember waking up one day absolutely feeling lost, feeling scared, feeling really incredibly alone, feeling really fearful, and just absolutely broken and in tears. And what I come to realise and come to understand through that journey is that I'd met myself, and it was the first time that I truly really met how I was feeling, what was going on inside of me. And I had nowhere to run, I had nowhere to go, nowhere to run. There was no distractions. I could only but face myself and what was going on. And that took immense amount of strength, an immense amount of courage, and an immense amount of trust, because I couldn't literally run out the mountains. And as time went on that day, because I just stopped, by some calm stones, and I kind of dropped to my knees, and it just all come up. And what I come to kind of realise is that it was a part of the process. It was part of the journey of understanding. Let me get that light back on. That's better. Understanding myself and trusting where I found myself, and thereon after I had those kind of real intense dreams, and this figure with a wide brimmed hat and a big staff and these funny shapes and symbols coming back. Going into a bookshop, I discovered the Book of Runes. I discovered the runes, and then I discover some of the images of the runic story, and just begin to discover that it was Odin. And I've asked why me, and I think that at some level, if you know his story, there's a huge sense of he made a sense of sacrifice or self-sacrifice to undertake the journey that he took, and in a way, those people that I know that have a real kind of personal relationship and a deep relationship with him, they've gone for a level of self-sacrifice. It's like it comes into your life and it kind of rips things apart. It strips back layers and layers and layers, which is what I experienced. And at some level, you kind of go through this journey of self-sacrifice, where everything is just kind of shed and layers fall away, and what is revealed is your true self. And I think that journey takes huge, immense courage. And what it kind of stirs up is, grit, determination, rawness. And I think that I know over these 26 years I've been tested, and I had to learn to walk again. And there's determination, there's strength, there's passion in that, which is all his, kind of his ilk as well. It's his resonance. It's who he stands for. Grit, rawness, wildness at some level. Which is why I put up the post and a conversation with a friend, and it's all about no longer sitting down. This is about time is now to stand up. It's to stand up and absolutely freaking move forwards. And I think that when you learn to walk again, you have to have grit and determination. That's probably where that's all been fired up and come from. So self-sacrifice, and I kind of understand, and which is why I think these wonderful tools have been gifted to me, and to carry the horn of Odin, I do not undertake that lightly. I'm honoured, and that to me is almost a blessing bestowed upon me, to say that I'm probably maybe on the right. Things to think about. I said a short video, there never are. I just need to be okay with that. Hope you find that interesting. If that stirs up some thought, then please do share some comments. This video will make sense. I'd really encourage you to go and watch the first part, which is Odins Gateway, and then it will all really make sense. The bit there at the beginning, I think that's really important. It's about humility. Odin also, loves his hospitality. Loves gathering around the table. He's the wanderer, and sometimes the drunken storyteller around the fire. He likes to feast, but at the same time, there's a humility, and there's a sense of harmony to the land. All of this stuff comes from the land. We can't continue to rape and pillage it. We can't continue to do that. We need to try to look at things differently. It's like I have a Yule tree. This year we made sure it was once again potted. We've done that before in the past, but potted. It will then, after the Yuletide season, it will go to my father's land, placed in the ground in the pot, and we will dig it up again next year and bring it back in and back home. It's trying to do things differently. I'll leave all that with you, and absolutely leave the love of the innate with you as well. And be interested to hear your thoughts. Take care, guys. Speak soon.